Good evening. In answer to your question, Mick, not usually, not out of necessity anyway, seeing as you only see my hands, and my hands do not have a beard. How are we doing? I understand you've all been playing Age of Sigmar. Good, good, good. I haven't. I've been sat at home feeling very sorry for myself because I've been ill, so I didn't get to my live roleplay event, and yeah. But I did end up seeing the hockey playoffs, so that's all good. What's happened since last time I was on? Well, quite a bit actually. I had a bit of a hiatus, so I wasn't live streaming last week. Possibly the week before. I don't know. It's been a while. I've got myself a 3D printer, the spoils of which you can see before you. I don't know what I'm going to paint tonight. It's got to that stage in the game where I now have access to a limitless amount of miniatures, and I don't know what to paint. Let me show you what I have been painting. If you've been following my Instagram, you might have seen these guys. Painted with Citadel inks and Army Painter speed paints, which I've developed a newfound respect for. Those are not Games Workshop prints, they're from Highland Miniatures, as is this guy. Again, he is inks and Army Painter speed paints. And doing some other stuff which is available on my Instagram. These guys, I'm starting a Nighthaunt army. I started a Nighthaunt army before I saw the leaks from the Codex, which mean Codex, Battletome, whatever that thing is called. So I'm not a meta chaser, even though they are quite savage at the moment. So I've got a few of these painted up. These are the equivalent of, oh god, what am I going to use them for? I can't remember. Whatever the big Horde units are called for the Nighthaunts. I can't remember. And a few more wizards here, which I might paint. Again, these are from Highland. In fact, all these are from Highland. These aren't. These are from Fleshcraft Studio. And this is also from Fleshcraft Studio. And I was going to paint this up and stick it on a rhino because, you know, 8-pointed star. Person splayed on rhino, on 8-pointed star on front of Chaos Rhino might look quite good for Waybearers. So what else have we got here? Yeah, these guys look really cool. Again, Highland Miniatures. I thought I might paint them up as Living City, which is the colour scheme this guy is in, and get them going, because I think these guys are actually preferable to the Games Workshop sculpts. As you might have guessed, I'm still at a bit 6s and 7s at the moment. Still feeling a little bit sorry for myself, but so it might be a short one tonight. I'll give you a fair one. And I might paint this little guy because I saw him and I thought, yeah, I've got to have him. Little pug in Acadian costume. I thought, yep, okay, I'll have him. Stick him on a little base. Oh, there's a little base. Haha! Excellent. So I might paint him. In fact, I'm going to paint him. He is being painted. So let's move these guys out of the way. In fact, I'm going to paint that battle mage as well because I'm probably going to be finished with that pug before too long. So let's get these guys out of the way. Out of the way, guys. I'm going to have a nice big block of 20 of these halberdiers. as the centre point of the chain rasps. Yes, quite possibly chain rasps. Quite possibly chain rasps if there's another. Right, okay, let's get some priming underway. Where's my glasses? There's my glasses. Where's my coffee? Oh. There's my coffee. Gulpy, gulpy, gulpy. I'll drink about a pint. How are we doing? No questions other than Joe with his chain rasps, and yes, I do agree it might be chain rasps. Let me just have a double check at that one. I don't. Just looking it up on my phone, thus, because there's an Age of Sigmar app which is developed by different people than the Warhammer app and actually works. The 40k app, that is. Works mostly, which is a lot better than the 40k app, which doesn't work mostly. He says, spinning disc of death. Anyway, that can think about what it's done, and I will get on with priming these miniatures. Hey Google, start the compressor. Here we go. Where are we? Death. Night Haunts. War Scrolls. Well, I've seen a load of different prints for Lady Olinda as well. Very nice, but I think I will actually use Lady Olinda. Yeah, Chain Rasp Horde is the Horde unit. So that'd be what I use them for. Either that or Glaive Wraiths, I haven't decided. Or Dread Scythe Harridans. No, I've got something else for the Dread Scythe Harridans. Right, I need to stick him to a base. Perhaps a little bit premature with the airbrush. Right, where's my super glue? Come on, little dude, let's get you stuck to a base. Beard hair. Or cat hair. Cat hair. It's too fine to be beard. I think it might actually be in the sculpt. That's yeah. That was in the resin. It's actually going through the dog's leg. Anyway. Blobby glue. Nunk. 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 Such a brave little doggy. And huge for a pug. Really, really big for a pug. Yeah, that's kind of, yeah, he needs to be about sort of half the size, but you know, we don't care. Bolton family from what? Oh, A Song of Ice and Fire. Right, okay. If you said Game of Thrones. Right. So that's stuck to that. Good. He's stuck to that. I need. Oh, really? I'm at 6s and 7s today. I have no control over what's going on outside my house. You may hear stuff. You may not hear stuff. If you do hear stuff, and it breaches copyright or anything like that, I do apologise, but I have no control over it. Right. There we go. Get along, little doggy. Depending how we get on with the end of that stick, I might be able to do a bit of OSL, but I think it's a bit too far away from anything else on the miniature to actually to be particularly effective. Have I got anything else that I can use for a bit of the old OSL? Oh, there we are. Another wizard. No, I'll paint him up as well. Yeah, just knock the camera. Telling it with this for a living. I've still got some paint in my thing. I don't really want to waste it, so do a bit more priming, shall we? That's what you came here to watch, right? Moog priming stuff. Zip. He's already primed and zenithaled, so we don't have to worry about him. These aren't quite Empire miniatures. Empire is sort of based on the Holy Roman Empire. These guys are they've got elements of Tudor about them. If you look at the, he's got a ruff around his neck there, so they're kind of yeah, not quite HRE, not quite Landsneck, but cool nonetheless. And it's clear to see what the inspiration was for making these. The heads are modular, an interactive modular. The weapons are modular. There are also options for sword and shield and spear. So that's cool. And they use the same base infantry model. So I've got some. The handgunners are different models. And I've got a detachment of handgunners, which are going to sit alongside these guys. And I'm going to have a detachment of crossbowmen and a detachment of swordsmen. I'll probably swap between the handgunners and the swordsmen, depending on what's needed. I might make up some spearmen as well at some point. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. A little bit more. Job's a good one. Oh God. Guess what I didn't do? I didn't fill my water up. Good Lord. Any less professional, I'd be dangerous. Right, tissue, there we are. How are we doing? What are people hobbying with at the moment? Are you all recovering from playing your Age of Sigmar? And when's the next one? Because I'll be totally up for that. I know there's an event in June, end of June. Narrative event. This is again through Say Hi Paul's channel, so if you're not familiar with him, I think I've mostly got Say Hi Paul people in here, haven't I? No way I can see. Yeah, if you're not familiar with him, just check his channel out and join him, and come along at the end of June. Again, there's another meetup at the end of October, I believe, which is more sort of generic. There'll be Age of Sigmar, I dare say, and there'll be Warhammer 40k. Yeah, Mick, I'm not entirely sure he wants that advertised. Right, Zenithal, but I'm using primer. In fact, let's this is going to sound a bit weird for a sec. It doesn't have to, actually. So let's get rid of that. There we go. How cool is he? Amazing. Right. Let's get the Zenithal on all of these as well. I'm going to end up painting all of these, aren't I? I know I am. not even the full unit. If I'm a bit quiet, there's not an awful lot to say about this process. I mean, you all know about the principle of zenithal priming. For those of you who might stop in later and don't understand the principle of zenithal priming, I mean, this is basically a technique for setting in basic light values so you can see where light and shadow are and where all the detail is, so it makes things easier to paint. And the idea is you spray mainly from one direction, from the direction where the light's coming from, and you don't need to use an airbrush for this. You can use a dry brush. Have I got a clean dry brush? So I can demonstrate. Yes, let's demonstrate. Right, okay, so that's just dipping the brush in the primer solution. Get most of it off. You get a different effect with a dry brush zenithal. A bit more stark, but it still works. So mainly downward strokes with this. Now I've used this to great effect with my Curse City miniatures, because it gives the miniature a bit of a graphic novel kind of effect, graphic novel look to it, which is really quite cool. I've gone in a bit heavy there. You can see what I'm trying to achieve. It's just highlighting, getting some light and shadow in there. Compare that to that. It's a lot heavier effect on the dry brushing, but it's the same general principle. Hi Tom. Still got a few straggly supports there. Set them aside for a minute and get them later. Shall I give them a once over as well? No, I think I'll leave them. I can demonstrate how the different techniques look. use him. He's got the same pose, so we'll demonstrate. Right, I think we're done with the airbrush almost. Almost. Let's just get this cleaned out. So I want to leave it to dry. Now, the question is, do I paint my little Cadian pug in Cadian colours, or do I paint him in Necromundon colours, which is the colour of my Imperial Guard? That is the question before you. Answers on a postcard. Regimental mascot for Necromundon. Okay, we'll do that then. Okay, what should we paint first? Let's put the halberdiers to one side for a minute. Battle Mage, who I think I will make a nature mage, because he's got kind of a nature stick on the end of his stick. So there'll be lots of greenish hues there, I dare say. Got him to paint. Oh, that hair that goes through his leg has become more evident. Where are my snips? Well, I could do both. I mean, I could paint one for every regiment in the Guard, really, but you know, but I've only got the one printed at the moment. Right, I'm just clipping the hair off his legs. For those just joining us, I think I must have got a bit of cat hair into the resin. And he had a cat hair through his back leg. So genetically he's part cat. Would I consider getting another Moog? There can be only one me, I'm afraid. Ah, right, yes I would. Yeah, I'm considering in the long run getting a filament printer with a large print bed, and possibly an ELEGOO Saturn as well, which is a larger build plate, so I can do bigger stuff. Yeah, it's an eye-opener. It's frustrating at times, but it is an eye-opener and opens up an awful lot of possibilities. Actually, stand by your beds a minute. I'm going to go and get some miniatures which I've printed off. Just to show you what can be achieved. Bear with me a second. I will be back. Right, back. And this is what I went to get from the other room. These are not official miniatures. These are 3D prints. But you wouldn't necessarily... Oh my god, a little bit out of focus, aren't we? Bear with me a sec. Figure video. Oh, we still got the thing up. Hey Google, turn off the compressor.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Yes, you do. Turn off the compressor.
Alright, turning compressor off.
There we go. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily know. In some ways, they're actually better than the GW prints, I think. GW sculpts. And there's an intercessor for scale. So they've gone proper Primaris Terminator scale with them, which is really cool. Them as a squad, you wouldn't necessarily know. So I might be doing Deathwing soon. That little lot, the files cost £5, I think, and a squad of 5 Terminators costs about £3. And then there's this guy, who was free. The file was free, and he cost around £3 or £4 to print out. Boom, Telemon. I don't know how much Telemons are. I think they were over £50 there. Might be 47 thinking about it. So yeah, I might be doing more with them than the 3D printer. But I'm not going to be going too mad with it because I still want to be able to play it Warhammer World, so I don't want to be relying too heavily on 3D printed miniatures. Ah, right, where was I? Who distracted me? I distracted me. Right, whose fault was that? Me. My fault. Oh, is that 25mm base? That is a 25mm base. Ah! Distracted again. What do I want to stick on that? I've run out of 25mm bases, this is the problem. There we go, yeah, so you know, £3's a bit of a saving on that. And you can get some interesting takes on models as well. There are several takes on the Thunderhawk gunship, for example. I need some super glue that dries more quickly. So yeah, 3D printing is a thing that is happening at the moment. I will still be painting normal GW miniatures from GW, because I still like them. Nothing's going to change that. But this is just going to increase my output, I think. And it enables me to paint things that aren't GW from time to time. Like, where is he? Oh god, this thing I'm working on. Which is just... oh, it's just sickening, really. I was going to use it as a Vorgeist, because it kind of is that sort of shape and scale. Say Vorgeist, what do I mean? Morngull, that's what I mean. I think the cat's done something stupid. But he's not yelling, so I don't think anything's on fire, so I think we'll probably be all right. But yeah, this is Galak did the sculpt for this, and he's got a whole range of ethereal. Oh god, that lemon camera! Whole range of ethereal. Have I stuck it on autumn? Ethereal undead that are kind of based on Eastern European themes. I bet I've stuck it on auto, haven't I? Autofocus. No, I haven't. There we are. No, it's actually in focus. Excellent. So he's done some really cool stuff, but the problem with that is I've kind of gone down the direction of using this guy, and they don't really sit well together. So I'm going to paint this guy up as a thing to paint, I think, rather than something to use on the field. Yeah, some really nice prints out there. Right, oh yes, it was that one and that one I was going to use. I wasn't going to do that, and I guess I was going to do that as well. Okay, let's get some colour on these things. You can tell I'm a little bit out of sorts today, or maybe you can't, I don't know. Maybe I'm always like this. There's my brush. Is that a brush? That's a brush. That's a number 2. That's a number 0. Yes, I know 0 isn't a number. That's a number 2 as well. I'll keep that around just in case I need another one. Right. Now, the colour scheme for the living city is sort of a cream colour, which I have used pallid bone, and a green colour, which I've used camo cloak, and I was going to use some flashes of probably red or something, just to give an accent of suggest an actual unit. But let's get some colour on miniatures. I'll start with the green. It's the green. That's the 0. I don't need the 0, I need the 2. Right. I'm going to do them quartered because I can. I can actually make out that he's got a jerkin on under the armour, which is he would do, and that's really cool. I like that level of detail. Why am I looking at his bottom? Well, one, because I've got to paint it, and 2, because I had a sneaking suspicion they'd actually gone as far as to do the trousers as an actual pair, looking at the codpiece here. Because trousers in the way back actually did come in pairs rather than a single thing. They were 2 separate legs. and you stitch them together when you put them on. Stuffed your shirt down there between them. So going to the loo in the Middle Ages was a bit of a mission. If you're a man. Right. Do I want his... I was going with Cadian for this guy, going with Necromunda for this guy, wasn't I? Alright, let's try and get some green on this guy. Where do I want the green? I will have his cloak being green. Got a little bit over the staff there, don't care. One thing I do like about these speed paints is they give you a little bit more drying time to get in there and fix where things are starting to pool. Contrasts just dry very, very fast, and if you start to get pooling somewhere, by the time you've realised it, you can go back to actually correct it, and you start tearing the paint, which is less than ideal. Okay, so he's got a breastplate on. Yeah. Armoured wizards, man. Armoured wizards. That's the way it should be. He's got plate on his legs as well. Well, he's called a battle wizard, so I suppose I shouldn't be too... Is that a... I think that is. That's a... Snip that off. It's one of the slight downsides of 3D printing, as the supports can be a bit of a pain in the backside. But for the savings, you know, I think it's probably worth it. Next color. Pallid bone. And you can see how the zenithal translates as areas of light and shade, and the actual speed paints as well. Which is what we intended. Oh, cool. So he's actually just wearing a chest piece, not a full cuirass. It's just the chest plate. That's really cool. And onto the one that I dry brushed. So you can see it's quite a different effect. That's probably supposed to be parchment or something. They do like bits of parchment hanging down between the legs, these wizards, I've noticed. It's got to be parchment because cloth doesn't fold like that. Like your parchment doesn't really either. Okay, dig it. Next colour. Yeah. There is one problem with these speed paints, as far as I'm concerned, and that's that they don't taste very nice. I'm a brush licker and I am proud of it. Right, let's see what's going on with this guy. Is he wearing a... He's wearing some sort of harness. I think. I think he's wearing some sort of doggy jacket harness type thing. So I'll get that in Necromundan Grey. Colour of pug's face is, it's black, isn't it, generally? Get some black colour around there. Those will be black as well, I think. I might go over them with a leather colour later, just to give them some definition. God, this thing's stupid. I love it. It's actually using the reactivation property of these paints to get a little bit of paint off. So I can get some lighter tone going on underneath. Right, colour of pugs. They're kind of... oh, what colour are pugs? Hey Google, what colour are pugs? Pug. Oh, they're kind of a...
The pug breed comes in 4 different colours: black, fawn, apricot and silver fawn.
Apricot. Yeah, you can get black pugs, okay. But they're mostly sort of a light sort of fawny tan colour. Rather like the palette bone I've just been using. Right, okay. Oh, Cran's back from doing Silly Things in Fields. How was your Silly Things in Fields, Cran? Was it good fun? Was it silly and field shaped? What do you suppose that is around his neck? I don't know what that is around his neck. I'm going to call that green, in fact. Is that green or is that black? Let's get a bit more green on there. This is the other problem with these. Once you get them out into the palette, they actually look quite similar. I'm glad some people had fun. I'm going to paint the helmet black, but it will end up being a metallic helmet. See, they're actually quite good, these AP speed paints. Getting some good contrast going on there. Let's get a slightly watered down green for the bedroll. These vials are, but they can be green. Right, let's have that guy aside. Let's get some grey on the armour. Oh. There's a boot going on there. See, I'm not even particularly worried about the state of my brush. That's not going to come to a point anytime soon, but it don't matter as long as it puts paint in the right sort of place. It's all good. And he's got some plate on his arms as well. So this guy's not mucking around when it comes to armour. He's got an awful lot of armour on for a mage. He's just got a chest plate on. He's got a purity seal. It's kind of cool. Do we think that's a metal? I think that's a metal hat. That is a metal cap. Could be leather, but I think it's metal. Need a tiny bit more grey. Must have missed that with the zenithal because I didn't zenithal this one, that's why. I used dry brushing. For a different sort of finish on it. Again, I think it looks a bit graphic novel, which is kind of a cool look, I think. Looks a bit more battered and worn as well. Can't really, again with the focus of this camera, it's not great. What's going on here? What's he got? Are those gloves? They're not, are they? Or are they? It's so hard to tell. I think they're supposed to be gauntlets. We'll go with that. Or at least they're leather cuffs. So let's get some brown going on. Hardened leather. So I think these are just leather cuffs to go around the end of his plate. His hands are actually bare. So that's what I reckon, and I'm sticking to it. Right, let's get his brown boots. Because what self-respecting mage wouldn't have brown boots? There we go. That's that bit done. This guy's got sandals on, so we can have brown sandals. They look for all the world like Crocs, but you know, they're not going to be Crocs. You can have a brown leather codpiece as well, because codpiece. That's about all the brown we need. Let's give him a brown beard as well. Why not? Why not? He could be a young man with his brown beard, a young man in his prime. You can have a brown codpiece as well, my fella. Oh, I've got a song stuck in my head now, which I could sing because it's a traditional, but I can't remember the words, so it's not happening. Sucks to be you lot. Because as Graham will tell you, I can actually sing. Quite well. Even though I do say so myself. Which is one of my few claims to fame. Right, so we've got some Sandgullen, which is kind of a lighter brown. And I'm just going to throw those tones on the jack, the leather jack. Let's throw that brown on those things as well. I think we rated equal at hunting pizzas, mate. So that's my side of the story, and I'm sticking to it. The pizza's certainly fared worst. Pizza Hut did not know what to hit it. I mean, they should have known, really. I mean, we're not small gentlemen, either of us. They should have seen it when we came in and not sat us so close to the buffet. And therein is a tale in the telling. Dee, 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 dee. What am I going to do with this stick? Ooh. Why's he got a lanyard hanging down there? What's that for? Oh, is that for? That's for holding his cloak back. That's quite a nice touch. Fair dues to these guys. Fair dues. A lanyard on the back for tying his cloak back. That's rather a nice touch. Okay. Inks are gonna ooh, hang on. Let's get a bit of brown on you. Brown in those, so there's a bit more colour going on. Look at those puppy dog eyes. Right, what was I about to do? I was about to do flashy things. Yes, I think I may have claimed you weren't my responsibility because you were behaving like you were on day release. But, you know, we were young and stupid. I did that completely off camera. I do apologise. Right, yeah, just a coat of Reichel and Flesh straight over the prime. All you need. Boom. Caucasian Flesh. More stupider, yes. Yeah, don't need contrast paints or anything for quick Caucasian Flesh. Just Reichel and Flesh shades straight over white or grey or Wraithbone or whatever you got. Let's get some colour variation going on this fella as well. Can't believe I'm painting a tiny Imperial Guard pug. Right. What more colours do I need? I need something for that pallid bone because there's a. Forgot about the parchment on the seals. I need, and this is simply because I don't have a dark enough colour in my, there it is, in my small collection of speed paints. I'm going to resort to contrast for the wizard stuff and the halberd stuffs. And this is Wildwood, which may as well be black. It's more sort of a burnt umber, I think. That's the colour they were going for. And they didn't get too bad getting it. What's going on that tip of that staff? Can't work out if there's supposed to be a... I don't know. Let's get it painted. And then maybe put some glow on it later with the airbrush. Good Lord, I don't do anything fancy with these things, do I? I really don't. Come and watch Moog putting colour in more or less the right place for 2 hours. Fascinating viewing. And let the paint do the rest. I think I was going to paint him as well. Ooh. Oh yes. I also did a tiny bit of... That's an accident waiting to happen. A bit of red. Gives the purity seals. I think you can have a red cover on one of your books. In fact, let's get some red going on this guy's arms. A bit of an accent colour going on. And now it is time for the metal. BuyMeACoffee Duraluminium, which you can just about see that. Trust me, it says Duraluminium. Don't need much on here because we're literally just don't even need full covering on it, just sort of very lightly going over it just to pick out and give the suggestion that it's made of metal, because that's what we want. Plus it ends up looking kind of weathered as well, which is very cool. So concentrate along the edge, give it a sense of it being a sharp blade. And you can sort of go wherever you want after that. And there's a bit of metal on the half there as well. Yeah, so you don't need a full coverage with the metal, just on the high points really. He's got quite a bit of armour on. Again, you don't want a smooth coat, because if you leave the coat fairly uneven, you end up with a suggestion of dents and scratches and sort of lived-in armour. You can almost stipple this on as well. I'll be going over this with a hit of something in a bit, just to tie everything together. How are we doing for time? Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Time flies when you're having fun. And apparently also when you're watching me. Right, my Necromunda guys have metallic hats. So this guy will have a metallic hat. Of what should look like brushed steel. Go. Right, how we're gonna? I know how we're gonna do that. We are going to use a bit of. Gosh, everyone's really quiet. was way too much of that. However, we're committed now.
A little doggy face.
This is gloss primer. I'll probably get a bit of gloss varnish and stick it over the top, but yeah, it looks kind of doggy. Right, how are we going to tie everything together, guys? How are we going to tie everything together? We are going to use my patented, not patented at all, because it's probably copyrighted if I even tried to patent it, brown sauce. Which is 2/5 Agrax Earthshade, 2/5 Seraphim Sepia, and one, oh, that's gone in the metal. And 1 part Lamian medium. And a tiny little bit of Drakenhof Nightshade. Bit of blue. Just to cool it all down a bit. Right. If you're familiar with these paints, this may scare you. Don't let it. I'm just putting a little bit of extra palette bone on there. Right. Because you're thinking, oh my gosh, this will reactivate everything. If you do this and then rub, yeah. But if you just dab it on, ends up as an all-over unifying wash. Get it off the top with that, actually. Don't want that quite as rusty looking, but everything else can get dirtied down with it. Just gets right in there and ties everything together. Does give it kind of a mucky look there, so just be sure that's what you're looking for. Stand him up, let gravity do its thing. That'll probably take a little while to dry. It just binds everything together, and you can see that I'm using these were undercoated in two very different techniques. They wouldn't look too out of place side by side in a unit. You just killed the wizard. Yeah, bastard! You killed the wizard. I kill you. Anyway, right. What else was I gonna? Ah, yes, I know what needs to happen. One of these two colours there, that one will do, because it's starting to issue forth in the sort of way which is volunteered as tribute. Right. Gone bit of beard. So my Necromunda infantry have a blue stripe on their helmet as a company marking. Oh, I don't think I've done that straight. I haven't. Just going over the edge of it with a little bit of the aluminium again, just to neaten up. How proud does he look? Brave little puggy. Puggy, puggy. Right. My coffee's gone cold, I'm blaming you lot. That's matte varnish, don't need that. I need a bit of gloss varnish. For his puggy little eyes to gleam and sparkle, because they do. And because it's the mark of healthy dogs everywhere. A little bit of gloss on the nose, give them a little bit of a wet nose. I mean, come on. Merchandise. Nick. I don't have merchandise. Well, I do have merchandise, but I'm not expecting anyone to pay any kind of interest into it. If anyone does want merchandise, there's a link to it in Discord. I think he's done. I think he's done. All over by the basing. He's very silly looking. That's green. I don't quite want green. I want... What's that? Is that grey? There's some outline shading going on. This guy's so silly. I know what he needs. There we are. Tiny little bit of Rune Lord brass. Or Rune Lord brass if you're from down south. Although Rune Lord brass is a truly upsetting concept. Yeah. See, he gets a gold emblem on his hat because he's an officer. Probably some bits I can pick out in brass on this guy as well, which I will do. The bits on his elbows. And his knee plates, I think. But the effect is going to be slightly more subtle on him, I think. There we are. That just gives him a bit more. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Just spotted a little bit of extra detail. Could do with being a brass colour, just to pick it out. There we are. It's starting to look quite cool. Nothing that needs to be brass. Nothing noticeable really. Holes on your daggers really, isn't it? That is absolutely right. You are quite correct, Crab. Nobody expects the wet nose of a dog. I'm painting off camera again now. Just adding in a bit of mottling and interest to an otherwise flat surface. How cute is he? Oh, I love it. Bit of Rightland flesh over the top, just to get into the crevices, like a cold wet nose. Oh, that little face is adorable. Oh, love it. Love it. Right, I think that might be gloss black. That is gloss black. Right, okay. Let's just try and edge off the company marking on his hat. This could go wrong. Yeah. And he's done, I think. Maybe needs a touch more, what colour is that? What did I put there? Green, that's not good to me. I need a bit more. This is the problem with these paints. Once they're down, you've got to remember what's what. And if I was actually using a proper palette with, you know, like thingies, I could probably remember, but I'm not. Because I too like to live dangerously. So I'm just putting a bit more of that graveyard grey on his little black face to darken it down. How silly does he look? He's amazing. Right, I think there's not much else I can do. I've demonstrated the difference between airbrushed zenithal and dry brushed zenithal, and Yeah, dry brush Denethor's a little bit darker and a little bit more grimdark, which is kind of cool if that's what you're looking for. But other than that, you know, they'll work side by side quite happily, and they're both valid techniques. I have painted and Battle Wizard using just speed paints and a few metallics and an ink. So that's that. I could probably do a bit of highlighting on his face there just to bring that back up again, and I probably will, but he's ready for the table. I mean, that's fine. Just stick a base on him, he's done. In fact, I will probably take up the highlighting on his face a little bit because he's a character. And we've done this dude, who is probably going to be the warlord for my Imperial Guard, because, you know, why not? The base is the right side, and you're going to take orders from a pug who will bite your ankles, so that works. Cool. Right, I hope you've all enjoyed yourself. Hope you've learned something. I know I have. I will be back. I might start doing these every 2 weeks. I think that might be a more realistic prospect, but I will see what happens. Keep your eyes peeled. Don't peel your eyes. Don't take that literally, because you won't be able to paint if you peel your eyes, because you'd be blind, and that wouldn't be any good to anyone. So don't do that. But yeah, keep an eye out. Don't do that either unless you're Odin. Watch my channel. Watch my channel and watch my Facebook presence. And I'll let people know in Discord what I'm doing. And I will hopefully see you all next week, possibly, or the week after that if I decide to do it every 2 weeks. Please do drop any comments in the channel under the video in YouTube, because comments mean prizes and more people tend to watch my content if the algorithm picks up on these things. So comment, please do comment and like and subscribe and hit that bell, and, you know, tell your friends. Go out and tell your friends that I do this thing, and they can watch me make an idiot myself on live YouTube. I've also got a Patreon if you're that way inclined. I will very much understand if you're not in this day and age, because, you know, energy bills and Tories and things. Nothing's getting any easier or any cheaper these days. What else? Yeah, if you want to buy me a coffee, I've got a buy me a coffee link under the video as well. Yeah, that's about it. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye for now, I guess. Well, it's been that long I've forgotten how to do this. Where's the button? Where's the button for it? Button. Who's got the button? Who's got the button? Is that the button? That's kind of the button. That's that button anyway. Where's the other button?